Hello and welcome to the fourth video on the scalpers section. We've covered what, where, when, and now we are looking at the how. How do we do this? How do we find entries? How do we pull the trigger? The how is divided into 5 separate sections. On M48, you are looking to find your target. Looking for direction on 240, confirming direction on M120, and your M6 setting up and waiting for a break. And then your entries finally on M3. So step number 1 is looking at the 480 in conjunction with your daily chart, just because it looks similar. So if you can't find your targets and things here, you have a top, you have multiple tops, and you can't find where the targets are, and then you can use your Heikin-Ashi template, and you can use the moving averages here as targets. So we're not using the moving averages waiting for crossovers or anything like that. What we are using the moving averages for are just for targets and potential areas of interest. So zooming into the 480 here. So it is looking for targets. In the beginning we were talking about Elliott wave. We had what we call motive waves. Now a motive wave is divided into various things here: an impulse, move up, or leading diagonal, or an ending diagonal. So all that it is that this line, the target that we are looking for, this is the motive, the reason the traders are in at the bottom here, and they are looking to try and get up here. So this whole thing is just the motive, the move up. If it's a trending move up, then that's all the better for us. So on your M48 and on your daily, we are looking just for targets, nothing else. If we can't find direction on the 480, we can look at the higher time frame, the 960 or the 96. That is equivalent or very similar to your weekly chart. And again, we have our 200 moving averages here. We have our 633s and then our standard 36 and 12 EMAs there. But then again, we are looking mainly at the EMAs for targets. So this is our 960. Let's say that we have our multiple tops here and it breaks the multiple tops. And then we are just looking where else we can find potential targets, just in case prices are interested in moving up and that motive wave is moving all the way up to the next targets. So all we're doing on the 960, if we can't find anything good on the 480, then we are looking for targets on your 960. And then we have step number 2 is to get our direction. And the M240 or the M24, it's similar to your H4 Heikin-Ashi stuff. So what we have here again is our standard EMAs, and it looks fairly similar. So what are we looking for? How do we find the direction? So our recent candles, are they bullish or are they bearish? Are they white candles or are they red candles? That's our first clue as to our direction. If our candles are white, we are definitely looking at bullishness. Prices are above the EMA, so we are looking still for bullish price action. The issue here is if prices are in an area like coming down on this red here where my cursor is, prices are coming down, it's now below our EMAs. We are still looking for longs because our EMAs has not crossed over to the short side yet. We'll go over more examples on the 240 a little bit later. M12, we are looking for confirmation of the direction that we have already found on 240. So how do we find confirmation? So the confirmation on M12 comes in the form of a break and a pullback. And this is after you found your confirmation. So you've seen white candles going up on your M2, your 240, and you see prices are above the EMAs, and the EMAs are not crossed down to the other side. Then you are looking for a break and a pullback as confirmation on M12 first. The confirmation is a break and a pullback. After you have already seen your direction confirmed on your M240. And then we have our M6. This is our setting up chart. So what we are looking for on M6 is, let's say we found our direction and it is going long. We have our motive, which means we know where our targets are. So we have a wave going up, an impulse wave moving up, or we have a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal, everything going up. Then we are looking for a correction. Now Elliott has only two things going for it really. One is the motive and the other one is the corrective. So if you find your targets are above, and you're finding your targets on 480, prices are above somewhere, then you are looking to go long, which means that your M6, you are trying to find what Elliott calls the corrective wave, and that can come in form of a zigzag, a flat, a triangle, double or triple tops, double or triple zigzag, or double, triple, three. We don't need to bother too much about this. All we need to know is those patterns that we did in the second video. What we need to understand here is that M6, we are looking for a correction, and the most simple correction is going to be a zigzag, a three-wave move down against your long trend. You found confirmation on your 240 and it's going long. Your motive is going long, so your corrective is coming down. Yeah. Then what we are looking for is identifying that correction with a three-wave move. If it's a triangle, then we are looking for the breaks of the triangle. Whether it's a trend like this one, zigzag sort of a trend, then we are looking for the breaks of that. So this is our M3 now, and this structure comes from our M6. This is the structure break here, and we can see the moves coming down here. It's a beautiful looking trend, and then immediately it breaks. And when this area breaks, you are looking for a move up and then a minimum of a 2 candle pullback there, a 2 brick retracement after the break. Now on this example, it's not a good looking break pullback. So if we are trading this, we would use our most minimum risk here. We will talk more about the quality of the break pullback and the quality of the ABC or 1, 2, 3 in the next video. So what needs to break? It's the correction on M6 that needs to break. And it comes in the form of any pattern, a flag, a triangle, whatever the pattern looks like. This is what needs to break. You get your pullback and your entry. So in this case, we have a trend going up, and the trend suddenly breaks, and this trend line going up, this is coming from your M6, and your entries are after the break and the pullback on your M3. In this example, it's a triangle. These are all corrective patterns. So if prices are trending long and your targets are up here somewhere based on your 480 and your 240 is pointing to the right direction, pointing long, then you are looking for an M6 structure to break. And as soon as your M6 structure breaks, in this case it's a triangle, breaks, and then your entries comes after the break, the pullback, and that's your entry. And in this case it's a range. The range is breaking on your M6 and your entries is on M3. So the most important part of the how here really is going to be your M24, getting your direction. So after you see structure, it's very important to watch for any sort of breaks. If prices are above the EMAs, then we are looking for longs, even if there is red candles there. Even if there are red candles pulling back, we are looking to enter long. So how far is this retracement coming back? We are going to look at the 12 EMA, or in this case on the middle one, which is the 24, or the 36 EMA here. And better is if you're looking for a trend line coming up here. So there are various examples of patterns that we are looking for. We like to trade inside the pattern and inside the extremes here. So if you have point 1 and 2, when prices comes back to point number 3 here, the extension of this line, then even if prices are below the EMAs, we are still looking for longs in this area because we have this trend line. So the trend line overrules everything. And even at this point here, as prices are red below your EMAs has not fully crossed over yet. So you need to watch very closely at what the EMAs are doing. Prices comes back down here below all the EMAs and it's red and it's pulling back, but you have an idea of where it's pulling back to. In this case, it's a trend line. Prices goes up, we're looking for longs. We are still looking for longs even as prices are coming down. We are expecting to try and get long as soon as prices touches the EMAs here. If you find a setup to go long, you need to take it. Comes back down, comes back down. But then here is the most probable part of the puzzle, or the best area where you could try for your long opportunity. Because your trend lines are going to be key. Now, because we are on Renko, the trend lines aren't perfect. It's best to look at your M24 together with your H4. Here we have a trend line, your zigzag correction, and then you're looking for breaks and pullbacks. So the immediate price action here, we are looking for shorts because prices are below all the EMAs here. And even while prices are pulling back, we are still looking for shorts because the pullback is just the retracement. Looking at the retracements on your M6 perhaps, trying to find the shape of the retracement, whether it be a zigzag moving up or a triangle or range, whatever it is. The moves against the main trend. The main trend in this case is now going down. The moves against that downward trend is retracing. And where is it going to retrace to? Either to one of the EMAs or to an existing trend line. So we are short on this example on your M24. Jump down to your M12. You look at the break here. You've drawn this line. It's coming from your 240. As soon as you see the break, now you have a potential for a confirmed short. And once prices retraces and you get a red candle, a red brick, then you have a confirmed short. So only at this point now are you starting to look for shorting opportunities. Not before this, because we didn't get the confirmation yet. Let us just go back over this again. On your M24, you are looking at what prices are doing right now. So prices are retracing, but you are fundamentally going short because your EMAs are crossed over to the short side. So you are fundamentally short even though you have white candles now. Now watch this line. This is your trend line on your M24. Now we are down to M12. There we see the trend line break and the move up. So now we are confirmed short after the retracement, and you get another red brick coming down. So now we are confirmed short. So now you have structure. You're looking for structure now. You want to go short. You found your direction, you found your targets, you have some structure. And in this case, it's a triangle. So you have your trend lines here. You're trying to draw just 2 points, 1, 2, and an extension. Same as here on top. That's 1, 2, and an extension coming down. So as soon as it breaks here on your M6, you are looking at M3. So this is your break from your M6. Prices comes down on M3, pulls back at least 2 white candles here. And then you are looking to go short here. And your stops are above the EMAs and above the highest points here. And then you are going short. In the next section, where we will talk more about the entries, we will be looking at quality over quantity. It will explain why certain 1, 2, 3s are better than the rest of them. In this example, I want to show you the various forms of structure. So in this case, we have structure in the form of a trend line. So we are looking for breaks of the trend line and then jumping to M3 and looking for entries there. In this case here, we have a triangle, a flag as a correction. So if we were long, we are trying to identify this flag, and as soon as the flag breaks, as soon as the trend line breaks here, we are looking for entries on M3. We are not looking to go short if our confirmation isn't short. Yeah, we need to find our confirmation, we need to find our direction, and only if those two things are pointing in the same direction are we looking to go long or short. M6 is just the structure break, the correction that is broken. Yeah. In this case, the motive is to move up, and anything coming down is a correction. So we are looking for a break of the correction here, and as soon as that happens, we are jumping down to M3 for entries. In this case again, here we have a trend line coming down. We're looking for buy entries as soon as we get a setup on M3 there. So now for this one, this is a correction here, a trend line coming down. Our motive is to go long, so we are looking for entries right here. After we see on our M3 a break. So this is our line coming from your M6. And we are looking for our breaks. Break of your line and then a pullback. And we'll talk about the quality over quantity in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.